What's going on, YouTube? Today we're going to be reacting to Not Joey Black. Make sure you hit that like button.
If you clicked on this video, you want to be better right now. But most tip videos you watch have things that you need to practice, so that way you can get better over time. Instead, this video is for the TikTok ADHD brain gamers that need instant gratification.
That's
So we'll
me!
cover 13 tips that give you instant improvement with no practice required. Everything from ways to take less damage in gunfights and what guns you should be using, to positions you can hold to triple your KD and what operators you should be playing. Follow my Twitch to ask me any questions, and let's get started. The fastest way to start winning more rounds in Siege is to use more cheese strats. For example, whenever somebody is playing Kids on Oregon, they typically set up the exact same way. They put head holes here, they reinforce this wall here, they reinforce the closet wall, maybe they play trophy, maybe they stick somebody over an armory. But overall, every team plays exactly the same way. They've memorized all of the different angles they need to peek, and it makes it very easy for them to take advantage of your setup. Instead, if you start doing some crazy strats, then they will never anticipate it. A great example is my favorite mute strat on Kids Oregon. You place a mute jammer right here, you place another mute jammer on this door right here, then you come into master and you place a mute jammer next to the master door, and then you place another mute jammer here in closet. Then you're going to reinforce the closet walls, and you're going to play here in closet. As you can see, my laser here, you want to keep it on the door frame. Even though all the pellets will hit, if you're on ADS, then the laser will hit the door frame, and now you can just sit here. The nice thing about this is they cannot drone you, and they also would never expect you in closet. So what they usually do is they try to make a play. They break the door down, and they try to run into closet to be able to safely shoot the mute jammers so they can drone. But what they're not expecting is me sitting here in closet ready to shotgun them directly in the face. If you don't think this will work, this works in champ lobbies. Every time I do it, I get at least one kill. So I guarantee you it will also work in your games. One of the most instant ways that you can improve in Siege, requiring zero practice at all, is exposing your body less. What most people do in Siege is whenever they swing, right, they'll either wide swing like this to peek this angle, or they will peek out very far like this to take a gunfight on a Rooney here. The issue with that is even if I win this gunfight against a Rooney, because so much of my body is exposed, there's a very good chance that she will hit me in the body. So after she hits me in the body and I get the kill, I now have 48 HP. This means if I take another gunfight and she hits me in the body again, then she is going to win this gunfight just because she got a body shot on a low health player. This is obviously bad because it limits the number of gunfights that you can take before you just die by default. Instead, you need to just expose your body less, right? Just prioritize making sure that as little of your body is exposed every single time you take a gunfight. So whether that's if I take a gunfight here, I don't stand, I crouch, so that way my body is protected by this, or if you're quick peeking an angle, then you want to expose yourself as little as possible. So this is too much. This is too little because I can't even see her. You want to make sure that you are going out just the right amount where you can barely see her, but you can still get a shot off. Possibly the fastest way to improve in Siege is to stop playing.
Bro, I've been getting so much better. You know, no cap. I've been getting a lot better once I started to watch this guy's videos. So
and play more 3-speed operators. As you can see by this side,
it's always just a good reminder to watch this before you play. What the fuck is this gridlock disrespect? What the fuck? What is this gridlock disrespect?
Gridlock, for example, moves
what the fuck is that?
Compared to someone like Ash, who moves much faster across their screen. This means if I'm playing a one-speed operator like Gridlock, I can quick peek much more slowly, making me a much easier target for Ela here to shoot. This also means if I want to wide swing Ela, I get less peeker's advantage because I'm moving slower. Versus if you're playing someone like Ash, your quick peeks are going to be much faster because she's a 3-speed. This means it's much harder for a Rooney to kill me on Ash because I can quick peek much faster, as well as if I wide swing, I have a lot more peeker's advantage, giving me very easy kills against a Rooney here. If you want to triple your KD in Siege overnight, all you need to do is hold cutoffs. What a cutoff is for example, here on Chalet, if I rappel up to this roof here and then I destroy this window, then any enemies over here holding library, as my teammates push them out of library, eventually they'll have to either die or rotate
Yeah, I
back
forgot.
to
I gotta
sight.
use
That
this
is
angle
where
again.
you come
Use
in,
this
because
angle
you can just
more.
sit here on this window
never
and
even used this
farm kills
before.
as they rotate back to sight. If there's
Yeah, that's
two
actually
people
so
holding
broken,
library,
though.
then Fenrir here will be rotating back to sight, and he's a free
He's
kill.
fought-
because
he's
who
dead.
is
He's
going to
dead.
pre-fire this very weird angle? You could even make it super tight like this. So that way, whenever
Pause.
he runs across, he won't even see you. Even if he wants to pre-fire you, right? He could stop right at the perfect position. He cannot
Yo,
see
bro,
you, but I
how
can see
they
his
get
entire
you
legs, and
on
since
the
I have a
screen?
DMR, I go
Okay.
tap, 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 and he is dead. One of
Nice.
the fastest way to start winning more rounds
I
in
guess that's
Siege is
funny.
to play self-sufficient operators. For example, someone like Maverick or Striker. These operators are self-sufficient in terms of hard breaching. Usually, if you play Thermite or Ace in a match and then you go against this electrified wall, your randoms are terrible. They're not going to EMP the wall properly, and you're going to lose the round because you can't
Pretty
get
much.
it open.
Pretty
But
much.
if you
Yep,
play
that's-
self-sufficient
yep.
operators, then you can go somebody like Maverick, and now you can Mav trick the wall even if it's electrified. So all you would need to do, right, is go left to right across this wall here. Make sure you get
Why does
both
that look like a
sides,
dead?
and then the metal will kind of fall out of the wall like that. And then you do the same thing on the bottom of the wall. And now, as you can see, the wall is soft. Then whenever you shoot the wall, you can see that the wooden beams are also gone from the wall here. So then once you destroy the wall enough, then you can crouch walk through the hole that you made, and now you're in sight. Playing self-sufficient operators like this means you don't need to rely on your terrible randoms, and more of your rounds will be in your hands. By far, one of the fastest ways to get better at Siege is to be the unexpected player. You need to swing when it's unexpected and not swing when it's unexpected. For example, right, if you know Lion is in this corner here, but he's looking at you, he's expecting you to swing. So there's a good chance that you should not swing this angle, because if you swing, he's expecting you to swing, and he's just going to pre-aim and shoot you. Instead, if you're in a situation where Lion is likely expecting you to swing this hallway, just give him the space, back off a little bit, and see what happens. This will catch him off guard. He's expecting you to swing. He might waste a little time before pushing you. Then, once he starts pushing you, then you should immediately swing when he's least expecting it. He goes into the hallway a little bit, expecting you to continue playing passive, and all of a sudden you swing him and
Bang!
kill him, because now it's unexpected. If you were in Lion's position and you would expect yourself to swing, don't. If you were in Lion's position and you would think it's dumb for you to swing, then you should be swinging. Do the opposite.
And then
of
I get
what
one
is
tap in the head.
expected, and you will farm kills. One of the fastest ways to get better at Siege is to pick a specific role and master that role. The issue that slows down a lot of people's improvement is they'll play too many roles. They'll play Thermite one round where they have to play passive and they need to focus on getting the wall open, and they make sure
And they'll
they
play
stay
Vigil.
alive and get the bomb down, and then they'll immediately go and play Ashe, whose goal is to play a lot more quickly, get a lot
Or
more
that too.
kills, take a lot of space, and destroy bulletproof utility with her Ashe charges. These playstyles are essentially two entirely different games. It's like if you're trying to get good at Siege, but half the time to get good at Siege, you would play Rocket League. I feel like the skills probably don't correlate very much. So if you pick one role and main that role, you will become the master at all of the things that role is required to do. So if you pick Hard Breach, play Thermite, play Maverick, play Hibana, and play Ace. Get good at all four of those operators. That way, if one is banned,
But if you're already good at Siege and you're good at all, pretty much good at all, what's it called, roles, you can just play anybody who you want at any round. But like if I'm really feeling myself, if I'm really feeling it, I'll play Ashe.
and you can always play another operator within that role. If you want to instantly improve your KD in Siege, you need to prioritize information. Usually when people are playing Siege, right, they'll just kind of peek things, right? They'll be like, oh, I'm going to check here, and then I'm going to check here, and then I die to a zombie here. Because I didn't have any information before I swung. Now, this also applies if I know the rough idea of where a zombie is, right? Let's say that this is the bomb site, and I'm pushing behind the bar. I might know that a zombie is behind the bar, but there's a lot of space behind the bar that she could be. This makes it very difficult for me to pre-fire her and have good crosshair placement. But if instead you prioritized information, any information at all, then all of a sudden this is a very easy kill. For example,
True.
if I throw my drone over here and then a zombie shoots it, I can look at the bullet trail and have a good idea of exactly where she is standing. Even little amounts of information like this can allow you to pre-fire her very, very effectively. Another example is things like Grim. Then you can shoot your bees behind the bar, and now you have an exact pick ping on where a zombie
Bang.
is. A great way to instantly get better at Siege, and this requires zero practice whatsoever, is moving less. Now that may sound counterintuitive,
Moving
but let me
less.
explain. So let's say I'm behind this door. I might lean this way, and then I lean again, and then maybe I
Yeah, too
crouch,
much
right? Like
leaning.
I'm dodging bullets.
Yeah.
I'm trying to make myself a difficult target to hit. But when you really slow it down and you really look at how much that's screwing up your crosshair placement, you can see why it's an issue. If I lean to the left, my crosshair is no longer on her head. If I lean to the right, again, it's not on her head. If I crouch, then it goes all the way down to her body. If I prone, then obviously it's not on her head. If I move left and right, then it's no longer on her head. This means in an actual match, Thorn is going to be moving side to side. You are going to be moving side to side. You are going to be leaning, and Thorn is going to be leaning. And this is just overall a very hard target to hit, especially if you add crouching in. How are you going to hit a head here, right? Like, there's no way you can track Thorn's head here. It's a lot easier to track Thorn here if I am not moving, right? It's not going to be perfect because she's moving a ton, but it's a much easier to track than if I am also moving and now have to adjust for my movement as well. It's almost impossible to track her. So if you slow down,
Oh, shit, I
relax
just
your
turned off my
movement,
PC.
you will end up hitting a lot more shots.
I had to
If you
move
wanna
my
get more
PC
kills in
away a
Siege,
little bit.
play
Maybe I
higher
should do it
fire
more,
rate
'cause I'm
guns.
scared the
This is
fan
because
is, like,
Siege is a
getting
one-shot
picked up.
headshot game. That means it doesn't matter what gun you're using. It doesn't matter how much damage it does. As long as you hit her in the
Scared the
head,
fan
she is going to die. So
the
that means
sound of the fan
essentially
is
the
getting
more
picked up on
bullets you
my
can
mic.
get down range, the higher the chance is that you will end up getting the kill, even if your aim is bad. So for example, if I have
So,
bad aim,
like
then I
me.
might be swiping across my mouse pad here. If you're on controller, you're just holding your joystick to the right, and you kind of sweep over Gridlock's head here. Well, with a slow fire rate gun, it would go boom, 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 boom,
Boom,
boom. And
boom,
although your
boom.
crosshair did go over her head, it didn't get the kill. Versus with a high fire rate gun, it would go boom, 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 boom. And the second your crosshair goes on her head, then she dies. Because you're shooting so many bullets that it's impossible for your crosshair to be on her head without it killing her. That's why people love the SMG-12 so much, is because it shoots so fast, where even
Yep.
if your recoil is terrible, one of these shots is bound to hit her in the head. Because if I swing this angle here and I have bad aim, then it will likely still kill her because there's so many bullets. If you want to win more games in Siege, hold more choke points. Usually what players are doing,
Choke
right, is
points.
let's say they're pushing over here on this door. Well, you just kind of follow whatever the enemies are doing, right? You're like, oh, I need to peek over here because they're pushing over here. Oh, they're pushing over here. Let me push this over here. Oh, one may be coming over here. I'll just swing this. Instead, you should be very specific about what choke point you want to hold and make sure you have that locked down. For example, electrical here is a great choke point to
What's a
hold.
choke
If they're going
point?
for this wall over here, then you can swing them and flank them this way. If they start pushing in the breach, you can contest them here. And if they can't go through that wall, then this is realistically their only way into sight from this side of the map. So if you can lock down this choke point, you can win the round for your team single-handedly. When you hold important choke points like this, you take all of the responsibility for winning the round, and if you are actually that much better than your randoms, then you can carry your team to victory based off of holding these positions well.
Okay.
If you want to win more games in Siege, the fastest way to do that with zero practice at
That's
all
a
is to
goated
just
zombie,
give
though, I'm not
callouts
gonna
to your
lie,
randoms.
actually.
Even if they don't respond, if you can just give your randoms a couple callouts here and there, in most of your matches, your randoms will end up getting more kills because they have more information. Even if they're not helping you at all, if you give them callouts and they get kills, you are more likely to win the game. Tell them what operators are playing where. Tell them how they're set up. Give them comms even if they're giving you nothing in return, because at the end of the day, the goal is to win, even if that means being a good teammate to terrible teammates. If you
True.
want to get more kills in Siege, you need to relax. When you are playing, if you tense up your arm or you tense up your hands, right, you're really gripping your controller, then that
Pause.
causes you to be much more jittery. If you are just really locked in, then you're just going to be all over the place, right? Like you're going to be over flicking. You just won't be able to smoothly
gotta be
track
loose.
things. This can
Pause.
also be a big reason why you have bad recoil control, because if you're really tense, it's very hard to smoothly control the recoil and it will be all over the place. If instead you can relax a little bit, then you're going to have much smoother tracking, better recoil control, and overall just be a lot less jittery. I'm sure you've heard the concept of smooth aim before. That's where it comes from. You do not tense up your arm. You just are very relaxed, swinging every angle, and you are never squeezing the hell out of your controller or your arm, because that makes you shaky and will lose you gunfight.
Right. Alright. Hope y'all enjoyed the video. Make sure you hit the subscribe button. I'm out. Peace.